Talk defense, Tim Ream, Herc, one of your favorites. Played for Fulham in a 2-1 loss to Arsenal over the weekend. Some part of this makes me think our producer Beto, who's a huge Arsenal fan, just wanted to get this highlight in. Tim Ream did captain Fulham, played 88 minutes. He started off 4 Premier League games for Fulham so far this season, who sit 11th in the table. Herc, we got a couple friendlies coming up for the U.S. in September. Should Gregg Berhalter call up Ream for those September matches?
I don't know. No. Because if he did, it would be a huge contradiction to what Gregg Berhalter has stated to us, to what Gregg Berhalter has said. Tim Ream is going to be 35 in October. If Tim Ream steps into these qualifiers, then everything that Gregg Berhalter has ever said about John Brooks is a lie. You throw out the window. He was on this very program and told us John Brooks can't be part of the setup. He's not part of the setup because he can't play in a high line. He doesn't do well in isolation. What do you think a 35-year-old Tim Ream is going to do in a high line, in isolation? It makes no sense. And also, it's 4 games of the Premier League season. Where was everybody last year when he was playing in the championship? When he was 34 years old? Why wasn't everybody clamoring to get him on then? What's going on now? Listen, do people not realize...
Last year when he was in the championship, he was actually still getting called into the national team.
No.
Yes.
The last
Fall
time
of
he got called in,
2021. Yes.
Listen, last time he was called in was the first window of the World Cup qualifying cycle.
He's in the Premier League this year. Now he's a Premier League starter. Now he's a Premier League captain, Herc.
So you're telling me, Seb, you got no issue with Gregg Berhalter coming on this show and saying John Brooks cannot play because he doesn't do well in the high line.
I think John Brooks and Tim Ream are different players, Herc.
How
and I
so?
think
How so?
They're different players.
How so?
Clearly,
Answer
he's
the question.
They're different players.
They're both 2 left-footed center backs that are good in possession, that according to Gregg Berhalter can't play in a high line, aren't very mobile, don't do well in isolation, but you're
saying that. You're saying that. Gregg Berhalter hasn't said Tim Ream can't play in a high line.
How are they different? Do you remember the last time we saw Tim Ream at the international level? I will tell you when the last time we saw him. Diego Lainez coming on as a sub and retiring him from international football. That's the last time we saw him. Now, you want to all of a sudden, because it makes a little noise on Twitter, get him back on the national team? That's what you want to do?
Aaron Long is not playing well in Major League Soccer, but we can consider Aaron Long for the job next to Walker Zimmerman. Yeah, he may well be. He may well be next to Walker Zimmerman.
Why is it okay for the mantra to be, get all these old heads out? Let the kids play. That's the mantra with Gregg Berhalter, has been with this system, has been with this program. But you want to bring back a 35-year-old Tim Ream.
Look at the ageism here on this show. Ageism, Herc. At
Don't
center back, I like the little experience in my center backs. You got a left-footed player.
What experience is that?
You got a left-footed player. You got a guy that can play with 2 center backs. You got a guy that can play with 3 center backs.
Because the guy who scored in the 2014 World Cup is home because he's too slow and doesn't do well in a back line, a high back line.
I don't think Gregg Berhalter trusts John Brooks. I don't know that that's the same for Tim Ream. And so I think if Tim Ream is good enough to start in the Premier League right now, the United States, especially at center back, Herc, where nothing is settled, nothing is truly settled, has to take a look at a guy. You cannot have a guy starting in the Premier League, be the U.S. men's national team, look at the center back position as it is, and say, we're not going to at least kick the tires on this guy.
Answer the question. You provided it. You provided it. They're different players. How are they different? John Brooks and Tim Ream.
They're different players. Gregg Berhalter would tell you that they're different players, Herc.
No, you said they're different players.
I do. They're different players. He evaluates them differently. Clearly, he doesn't trust John Brooks. I don't believe that he's going to call John Brooks in again. I think Tim Ream he might trust still. Let's see what happens.
Recency bias is what you were talking about, right? All right, go on to the next.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.